Crypto gaming hasn't quite reached the masses just yet, but something shifted in the past few months that should actually make this happen way sooner than you might expect. Now, indie games just like this one right here, Expedition 33, have hit millions of players within their first week of release. What separates it from crypto games is not only the quality of the game, but it's actually one other defining trait that crypto games have been missing right up until now. I've been in the crypto gaming space for over 5 years now, and I've seen many projects fail. Some have minor success, but none of them have really seen mainstream adoption. I know what I'm looking for, I know what doesn't work, and I can tell you that this is going to be very different. There are 2 games right now that have just been released on Steam, one of them in a demo state. And I'm going to explain why Steam is important because there's quite a few things you need to know. In this video, we're looking at why this moment actually matters, what has changed to actually allow this change in the crypto gaming sphere, and which games are leading it, and why this might be the only time we see a shift like this, one that is enough to start garnering mainstream adoption in crypto gaming. The first thing I want to show you right here is that there are 6 currently games on Steam right now. We've got Blacksmith Master, Diablo. I don't know why Diablo's there. I think that Asterix one maybe as well. We've got, I always forget his name, My Pet Hooligan, Riftstorm, and Wildcard. Those are the key 3. I don't know what those other 3 do in there, sorry. Those are the key 3, and it's a massive game changer. Just check out Riftstorm for yourself. If I didn't even I should have done this the other way. If I didn't tell you Riftstorm was a crypto game, you would have had no idea. Check out this gameplay right now as I talk over the next bit. So, this is another blockchain integrated game quietly thriving on Steam. It has really great gameplay on the surface. You can see it right there. I've played it myself. This is my gameplay, and it really is a really fun game. And it doesn't really have any blockchain elements as they're hidden behind the scenes. This is important for Steam, but we'll get back onto that very, very soon. Now, I personally really enjoyed it. It's incredibly fun. It's got some great multiplayer features and things like that. And you can see that the quality of crypto games are now starting to get to the point where they're on par with some top indie games. Now, Expedition 33 is maybe the top indie game, and it's definitely not on par with that. But when you talk about the top 10% of indie games, those that are successful, I think it's starting to get on par with all of those other indie games that are on the market. If we take a really quick look at the Steam chart, we can see that it has a growing player base that proves that the focus is on fun. If it can find an audience, this recent demo drop is seeing increased player numbers. Obviously, the demo dropped, it was shut down for a bit because they're just doing more testing and things like that. And then they brought back the demo. We're seeing another 200, 300 concurrent players at any given time. Now, this might not seem like much at first, but there are most games on Steam definitely don't get these player numbers. What's more important is they're relatively consistent. They've seen a lot of growth and things like that with very little marketing or other push. So it's clear that being on Steam is giving a huge advantage to having people play the game. People are playing it day in and day out, even though it's kind of hard to find other players in the match and there's limited content because it's in very much a demo state. But it's clear that the demand and excitement is there. Another game I want to talk about is Wildcard. We can see some gameplay from me right here from the Wildcard Early Access launch. It is a game that has been in development for over 4 years. It doesn't have a whole lot of marketing yet, but it has been organically pushed on Steam. Player numbers are pretty decent, but no crypto integration yet into the game, and it is early access with no marketing. It is competing on gameplay quality, not crypto hype. You can see just how fun the game looks right here. I personally really enjoy playing it. I think it has a little bit of flaws and things like that. And it's not super duper polished in terms of the actions and some of the effects and things. But overall, it's one of the best indie games I've ever played. And I've played quite a few at this point. Clearly, it's on par with a lot of the top games in the indie space, like I was saying before. And I don't doubt that for a second. It's evident that not only are crypto games getting onto Steam now, their quality is so different to what it was 1 or even 2 years ago. Also, at the end, I'll reveal what makes Steam different from other platforms and how it can reshape crypto gaming and its current lack of users. But right before then, let me show you another ecosystem that's growing at an insane rate right now. 2 live games, 3 nearing completion, and 4 deep in development. Great for any kind of gamer. The Bull token powers everything, including ways to earn in Nexus and Ordinum right now. I know crypto gaming can make things confusing, but you can easily download any playable game from the Epic Game Store and get started for free. Again, thanks to Playable for sponsoring this video. Join their Discord down below for the latest news, and now let's get back to it. Now, why do crypto games feel like indie games? Firstly, they have small focused teams that do really quick iteration on the game, its mechanics and things like that. It's important to be agile, especially if the game's not particularly good, but really to take in community feedback and let them shape the game. This is important in indie gaming and crypto gaming. They also tend to do marketing in short, sharp bursts to try and get as many influxes of players in small little periods as they can, whereas AAA games have advertising for months or years on end with a more consistent traffic of advertising budget. Now, the other thing is that Palworld's success was really evident of this, with really short marketing bursts that then let people like streamers and other people organically spread the news of the game, and word of mouth takes it from there. They also tend to have tight scope and a clear audience. They don't deliver in too many genres at any given time, and they tend to do one brand new innovative thing particularly well. Are they a shooter? Do they have really interesting building mechanics? Or are they a roguelike with a really cool card system or upgrading card system? Or maybe they're a multiplayer or a social game like Peak or something like that, where it's just this really fun, singular goal you're trying to do with friends, and they execute on that perfectly. They also have heavy use of multiplayer, generally speaking, to help with the social elements, to help build stickiness of the game. Crypto economies in themselves rarely exist in a vacuum. So I think the two of these pair really well, where indie games like to have a big multiplayer focus for replayability, especially the social focused ones, and crypto games generally built on an economy, which is very much an MMO type deal, very multiplayer focused. And this is really good for smaller scoped games. Now, Steam's wishlist system directly impacts visibility, as it can get you up on the up and coming trends list. We can see down here right here with wishlist, wherever you go, the indie developer community, so much emphasis is put on wishlist. They're important to a number of things like forecasting revenue after launch, finding out how much interest you generated for your game before launch, and notifying interested players before you launch. Now, in terms of visibility on Steam, they're only taken into account for one of the algorithmic lists, popular upcoming games. To get on this, you basically just need a certain number of wish lists between a 2-week period, and then games are ordered by release date. So this gives a really big advantage to crypto games. It can also show Steam that you can generate revenue, which adds you to some of the other algorithmic lists to help push you on Steam with that natural and organic marketing that gamers are already really used to. Early wishlist pushes within small timeframes can make or break a launch when it comes to indie gaming, and it's the strategy every top indie game has actually used to help break into the mainstream. Palworld did this as well by putting out one video with Pokemon with guns soon before the launch. It was really easy for them to drum up that virality and that hype and get all the wish lists they needed to start popping off on the Steam systems. But the Steam blockchain policy is really important. And what is a loophole these new crypto games are using to put their games onto Steam? So there's a few really key guidelines, and we're going to focus on number 13. Number 13 is applications built on blockchain technology that issue or allow exchange of cryptocurrencies or NFTs. The wording here is really important, so let's nail down on it for a second. Built on blockchain technology is not illegal. The issue is if they allow you to mint or exchange cryptocurrencies or NFTs. As long as this is not embedded into your game in any way, shape, or form, then it is absolutely allowed for you to have a crypto game on Steam. This is really interesting. So the mints or transactions can happen outside of the game itself, and developers are getting around it by separating out the blockchain elements. For example, if you had a card game, you could just buy regular card packs and things like that. As long as there's no in-game marketplace to trade, swap, and get NFTs, and there's no way to mint the NFTs inside the game, you could put that on a web platform, third-party site, whatever you want to do. You can still have things on the blockchain. You just can't mint or swap them, basically. And your in-game currency cannot be a crypto. That goes without saying. And really, that's not that big of a deal. And games have been doing that for a long time recently anyways, because that's a really good user experience, generally speaking. So Web 2.5 has become really popular. Even things like Off the Grid do it really well, and they're dominating crypto gaming right now. So my main takeaway is this. Crypto games can get more wish lists than even current indie games because of the marketing possible on X, formerly Twitter, for surprisingly little money. The big thing from that is that because of this, they can actually leverage Steam's marketing arm far better than pretty much any other indie game that goes to market. Unless you're an established AAA company or whatever else, but they have their own marketing avenues anyways. By extension, the game still has to be good. We're seeing that Riftstorm and Wildcard are fantastic games. They're not quite there yet, but you can see that we're getting incredibly close. And they prove that quite a bit. It's one of the best games in the crypto gaming space. However, once a game is truly good and stands on its own 2 feet, it can easily leverage the Steam marketing or organic traffic arm through crypto gaming marketing that already exists on platforms like X, YouTube, and so on. All that infrastructure. Therefore, you can actually get games and a really wide distribution really quickly. Now, the games are more obfuscating than blockchain technology really, really well. They're hiding it behind the scenes much better than they have in the past. But it doesn't stop the need for a good game. And we're seeing so many more of them as of late. Check out my next video on the top 5 crypto games in the space.